was Kyle Juszczyk a luxury signing in your opinion? Now, we think Samson Ebukam has some upside to be more than just a part-time player. Juszczyk has been on this team for 4 years. We know exactly how the Niners use him. Do you think he's worth the money they pay him?
Yeah, as an individual player, Kyle Juszczyk is worth the money they pay him. The question is his role worth that?
That's what I'm asking.
I think that's a different question, because Kyle Juszczyk is a hell of a football player. And look, there's two things that has been happening with the Kyle Juszczyk. There's the people who say, oh, this is a bad signing, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the people like, yes, Kyle Juszczyk, Juice, we get Juice back. Let's go. John Lynch tweeted it. The reality of the situation is that neither of those reactions are, in my opinion, the correct reaction. The correct reaction is, I think, to start asking questions about what the Niners are doing philosophically and whether that's the right move. I mean, paying a fullback in 2021 indicates that you're going to be a 21 personnel, 22 personnel offense, okay?
Yep.
So that means that you're trying to basically catch defenses in base, okay? So theoretically, this is great. My question is, what happens in a game that you go down 10-0, right?
Yeah.
When you go down 10-0, like the difference between this season and last season is that the Niners played from behind a lot more. And when they played from behind, yes, there were a lot of injuries. That's why you end up with Kyle Juszczyk having a number like, what, 43% of the snaps played? It's not a product of Kyle Juszczyk being bad. It's just a product of you would rather have Kendrick Bourne, Debo, and Ayuk on the field when you're throwing the football than Kyle Juszczyk. So I think Kyle Juszczyk is a very good player. I think he's a good signing. I think he's versatile. I think he offers a lot. I actually didn't think he had a particularly good season this year. I mean, we did this topic 2 or 3 months ago, and I told you he's not a guy I would prioritize.
His blocking fell off a little bit. It wasn't the same.
Right. I felt he didn't have as good a season, and 2, I felt that you could prioritize other players and kind of fill his role where, okay, not one player can't do everything he does, but 2 or 3 different players for a cheaper can do all the things he does. But I mean, look, Ross Dwelley can do a lot of what Juszczyk does, and then you just add in like a short yardage back, and boom, like that's it. You got it. I don't know. Okay. I mean, even the short yardage back, he had a few rushing touchdowns, but this isn't an old school fullback where 3rd and 1, you just hand it to him and it works. Like, he had rushing touchdowns this year, but if you remember when Juszczyk first got here in 2017, they used to try in short yardage to hand the ball off to Juszczyk, and it would always fail. It would always fail. He's more of a finesse player.
He's a
finesse player. So he's a hell of a receiver, actually. I think he's a better receiver than runner. And Dwelley's got better hands.
Yeah, he's bigger. 6'5".
I think Juszczyk's faster, a bit more athletic.
That's true.
So they're different. But look, he's a very good player. I think fans have kind of overvalued his contributions just a tad because of the way he's represented in terms of, oh my God, Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk does so much for this offense, blah, blah, blah.
He's one of the faces of the franchise.
He's a good player. This is a solid signing. This isn't something that you need to be like, the Niners made a terrible signing. This isn't something that you say, it was great to have him back. I don't think that this makes a particularly large difference either way.
I feel like everything we've talked about fits under that. I mean, it comes back to a big baller saying mediocre offseason. Like, even if they do bring back Trent Williams, this team hasn't improved significantly. They're still slugging it out with the basement dwellers of the NFC West. I think that's a fair point. Maybe there wasn't a whole lot the Niners could do. We've talked about why.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think there's much else they could have done. Yeah. I think this has been productive so far in terms of what they could have done. Look, the question is, would you rather have Kyle Juszczyk or would you rather have a couple more maybe defensive players or here and there? I don't know. Look, his contract isn't that big. Right, his contract is not that big. It's really cap friendly. They have an out after 2 years. The contract is phenomenally done. Prague did an excellent job.
They should just use him.
That's the number one thing. It's like it can't be that he does so much for this offense, but at the end of the day, he's playing only 40% of the snaps.
And there's one more thing. There's one more thing, real quick. I mean, he played a lot of H-back last year. A lot of H-back, where he was not quite a tight end, but right off the line. And in that role, I don't think he's anything special as a blocker. What makes him special is his ability to line up at fullback and make blocks in space. When you put him at H-back and he's just going in motion across the line and slamming the D in, like, A bigger guy could really pack a little bit more of a punch.
He's not big enough to block in line.
He's not an H-back, and they use him a lot as an H-back.
Look, I'm ultimately just gonna have faith that Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel really they're getting back into the lab, and their run game always is very intricate. They put a lot on his plate in terms of the run game. So mentally, he's really, really good.
They can't have the intricate run game they have without this guy. So that's the thing.
No, because mentally, the things they ask him to do are like very difficult.
No one else does it.
Right. But I think I don't know. It's just when I look at it, I think that the Niners offense, I don't think you need to be living in 21 and 22 personnel in today's NFL. That's just the way I look at it.
You can't. When you fall behind, you're out of it. You know? And also, why is 21 personnel better than 2 tight ends? Why? Especially when you use Juszczyk as a tight end so much. Anyway, real quick, Robin says they brought him back as a blocker in anticipation for the loss of Trent Williams. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I don't think either of those things have any correlation.